Hey, this is Anand, and in this video I'm going to show you how to find out what's trending on the internet so you know what types of topics are going to be good for you to talk about, different stories you can share, just things that are of interest around. So there's a lot of enterprise level software that you can pay $20 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month. And sure, when you're at the stage that you need that type of, you need the ability to monitor the web that well, go ahead and get that. But until you have a full-time social media team, these tools that I'm about to show you will get the job done just fine. Now in the description at the bottom of this video, I'll have a link to each one of these tools so that way you can navigate to them easily. So without further ado, here's how we find out what the world is talking about on the internet. The first one that I like a lot is Google Trends. What's nice about Google Trends is it breaks it down by the day, and you can even go and check out individual categories to see what people are searching for on Google. So if we look at just Google as a whole, what the world is talking about, today is the inauguration day. So of course we're going to see a lot of stuff about the inauguration. Now they do a nice job where they'll actually list what is trending most and then rank it. So here we see a lot of Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. And for any of these items, let's say something happened with Apple here where it went from one level of engagement to boom, a whole bunch of people started searching that. So you can simply click on it. I like to open up a new tab so that way I can continue reading what else is happening. But a lot of sports stuff, but we can see here that based off what the internet's looking for, it might be a good idea if you were to post social media content for today to post something about Donald Trump and the inauguration. That's what people are interested in right now. That's what they're thinking about. And so here we can take a look at, based off of that story, let's see what's going on with Apple and Qualcomm that that made so many people search that. So it looks like Apple is suing Qualcomm for $1 billion. And there's a heck of a lot of people talking about it online. So when you find an event or something that's happening like this, a lot of times it's a good idea to just put a quick tweet. Hey, if you guys haven't heard, here's what's happening. The fact is, you already know that they've heard about it, but because you tweeted about it, they're going to be interested and they'll click on it. And then you can go and learn about what's happening. Looks like it's being sued over licensing practices. Find a way to make that relevant for your business. So licensing might be a huge part when it comes to international business to find out, well, do you have the proper licenses to do business in that nation? Or if it's people from other countries wanting to do business here in the US domestically, perhaps you write a blog article post, something along the lines of how to not get sued for $1 billion, and then have hashtag Apple, hashtag Qualcomm, something like that, and then just write a quick blog or a quick article or a quick something that talks about how you can just basic best practices for licensing in other countries. So that's one of my favorite ones, Google Trends. Just I'll show you real quick here on this video. I want to try to keep it less than 10 minutes. We can go and click on all categories, change that over to simply business categories, and find out within the business sector what specifically are people talking about. None of it clicked there. So again, we're looking at January 20th. We're now in the business section. And again, looks like Federal Housing Administration and Donald Trump, there's something going on there. The U.S. Army and something that sounds very German. Something's happening there. So foreign relation kind of stuff. That might be something good to talk about on a global business page. Donald Trump and the US dollar. That's something that could affect Donald Trump and the United States Treasury. There is a bunch of things you can talk about. And when it comes to sharing this content, you don't have to write it yourself. Simply find out if it's Forbes or CNN or Entrepreneur or New York Times. Often they will have a great article to describing what's happening. And because you're the one that people begin to trust for relevant and new content regarding global business, they're going to click through you, they're going to trust you. So then when you post your own content, they'll click it, knowing that you post only good stuff. Now, another great tool to use here is BuzzSumo. Now, this is another paid-for tool, but they have a fantastic free service. So you just go to the link that will be in the description, type in global business per se, but you can type in international business, you can type in international cultures, you can type in business in China, type in business in Latin America, whatever topic you want to see. And from here, it'll show you what articles are being talked about the most, which one's getting the most Facebook engagement, LinkedIn shares, Twitter shares. So here, again, we're going to see a lot of stuff talking about the election. But we're also seeing, looks like people have an interest in the top business schools. That might be something to talk about. The most valuable brands of 2016 are global brands. So again, this might be something to look into, find out what are those brands, and perhaps you can now not just have one article talking about the top 10 most valuable brands of 2016 by CNN, but then go further and talk about each one of those individual brands and why they've done a good job uh, in their global business. So you can then make this, you could take those content of the individual 10 brands, talk about why they succeeded, and then go a step further and make that into a white paper that breaks down the top 10 global brands of 2016. So you see how one piece of content often will turn into 5 or 10 or 20 more pieces of content, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time to put that together. And of course, you're going to use the Buffer software so that way you can pre-schedule posts. So once you create it, you chop it up into a bunch of little pieces, or you segment the content, and then you drip it and release it throughout the different social medias over a period of time. Now, the next tool I want to talk about here will be for Google+. Google Plus/Explorer will also go and talk about what is happening around the world with Google Plus. And here you can find topics that might be interesting for people and see what they may find interest in. Reddit's a pretty weird place. A lot of it will be completely irrelevant, complete nonsense, and if you see something like that, that's okay, just ignore it. But on Reddit, it's a good indicator of what the general internet is thinking. And so from here, you can see that one of the top things on Reddit is latest mobile design trends that will shape the future of web design. Well, that might be something a lot of people are interested in. You can click on that, learn about what it is that they're doing, share that article, and then find out what is it about that article that people like. Now, Facebook, they're the 800-pound gorilla of the content industry. They have created a nifty tool that if you go to your personal Facebook page, they will show you what's trending now. Now, they only give you about 10 different things that's happening, but the great thing about this is they update it constantly. Hour by hour, you're able to see what people are talking to at this very moment. And they give you different topics. So you've got business, science, sports, and from there you're able to basically find out, from what people are talking about, an indicator of what you should be looking up to find how you can make that relevant to your business as well. And then last but not least would be Feedly. Now, Feedly does cost money if you want to get the full scope of what it does. But the fact is, you don't necessarily need to pay for it. It's a service where you can compound a lot of different publishers and different news networks, different magazines, just people that post content. You can put them into different folders and track in real time what they're posting. So from here, you might create a folder that is all about business in China, or business in Brazil, or business in Russia, or international business affairs. I'm a huge nerd, so I've got a folder about developers, a folder about science, um, one about marketing. But from here, I can just go. This is everything going on with developers, and if I was to be wanting to put out content about development, I can see they're talking about sustainable materials in data centers, something called Google Fabric. A lot of different things that here you're finding out exactly what's happening today, what's happening in around the world of the internet. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next video, I'll continue to show you more ways to generate content for your social media.